Today here on the Team Forbidden YouTube channel, we are going to bring you Masquerade, the sequel, guest starring Guardian Chimera. Hello everyone, thank you for turning into Team Forbidden's YouTube channel. It is I, Son of the Fanatic. Battle of Chaos is out. You know what that means! No, not the blue eyes, this is a different video. You should know that by clicking on the thumbnail. Why am I even trying to joke about that? It's Despia! Let's go! The Dark Theater deck has come for a second round of performances. Arguably the invoked version that we showed you last time might be a little bit better, but Guardian Chimera just came out and this boosts the deck to a whole other level. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. This is mostly a pure build, starting off, of course, with the 3 Aluber, the Jester of Despia. This guy's your main searcher, and if one of your fusions dies, you can just bring him back and negate an opponent's effects. To complement Aluber, we have 3 copies of Despian Tragedy. I mean, he's your other best monster in the deck. Why is this thing not hollow in OTS 18? Who knows? Again, why was this common in Comedy Super? I don't get it. You don't use Comedy, you use this guy. But the Tragedy of the Guardian Chimera. Next up, we have 2 Dramaturge and 1 Adlib. Cut Adlib down to 1 because he's good, but he's arguably not as good as Dramaturge. Dramaturge is just your free negate. Adlib, if he's banished by card effect for fusion summon, you either target one of your banished fusion monsters or a Despia monster, special summon it right back. Next, we are running a little Frightfur package in here now. Edgem Chain. Searches your Fight for Patchwork, and he's a dark monster, so he can be used with Masquerade or Queritus or any of your other, fusions. Hand traps, we got 3 Veiler, and of course 3 Ash Blossom. Pretty self-explanatory, 18 monsters. Next up, we have 3 copies of Branded Opening. This is your main search card, your main power play. Discard any other card in your hand, take a Despia monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it directly to the field in defense position, and then you can't do anything except fusion summon after he resolves. I mean, it's your main searcher and it combos with Tragedy. If you pitch Tragedy, you'll basically get 2 searches. And then you just summon the Aluber and just search either your opening or this card. Good God, this card became a crap ton better. Especially now because this now becomes an interruption during your opponent's turn because of Guardian Chimera. So you basically just take a Despia monster or Falon of Arbaz in your graveyard, put it back in your hand, and then you immediately, after that resolves, fusion summon a monster. By banishing the materials and... This card is... It was good before, it was only a 2 of, but because of Chimera, you have to run 3 of this card. If you're running less than 3, I can kind of understand, but this card is so good. 1 copy of the fusion spell. Arguably this should be 2, but you can always just use Tragedy to reset it if they Twin Twister it or Lightning Storm it. Cosmic Cyclone, on the other hand, yeah, that it might not be a good idea running only 1. You should probably find room for the 2. Probably take out the Pot of Desires that I have later for it, but get Pot of Desires out of the way. It's at 1 now for some reason. Nobody understands why. 2 regular Polymerization. 1 because we have the Patchwork to search it. Speaking of, hi Patchwork. Search another chain. Get a Poly. Make fusion summons. Profit. 1 gold for the Tragedy, 1 foolish for the Tragedy, 3 copies of Cross-Eyed Designator, because we don't want to get hand-trapped in here. This is better than Comedy, in my opinion, especially because we run the one Call by the Grave as well, and the 3 Infinite Impermanence. Self-explanatory, 40-card deck. The Pot of Desire should probably be another copy of the Fusion spell, the Field spell, excuse me, but sometimes you just want to draw 2 extra cards. Alright, into the fusion deck. Next we have 3 copies of Masquerade. Pay 600 just to play Masquerade. With 3 out, you can only play just 4 cards. You'll get down to 800 and then you won't be able to play anything else unless you get rid of, well, 2 of the 3 of them. But it's, this card is dumb. It's chain energy on crack with a body. Oh, and it can just bring itself back to, I mean, it banishes itself when it leaves the field, but this is your main fusion. I only ran 2 of it last time because we have branded in red and you actually can combo off with the Fright for crap with branded in red to get 3 of these guys on the field. And if you ever get 3 of these guys on the field and they don't have Dark Ruler no more or, you know, Droplet to negate all of them, yes, it is nuts. And then they will still take the 1800 or lose 1800 to play it. So, this guy is so good. 2 copies of Quartus, because again, he's still really good. Despia monster plus any light or dark. And he reduces all monsters on the field that aren't level 8 fusion monsters to 0. A lot of people I notice aren't playing Proskenian. I can understand that. I still really like him though, because if you get rid of your opponent's extra deck monsters, you can just revive them back and give them a taste of their own medicine. Always love doing that. Next up, the new main guest star. 2 copies of Guardian Chimera. Arguably, I probably don't need 2. I only need 1, but guys, what can I say? This card is good. He has to be fusion summoned by using monsters from your hand or your field as material. Cannot do anything with the graveyard, cannot do anything with your opponent's monsters, so you unfortunately can't super poly into this. But for every monster that you fuse from the field, you pop a card that your opponent controls, and for every monster you fuse from the hand, you draw a card. Oh, and he's 3300, and if you have regular polymerization in the graveyard, he can't be targeted. This boy good! This boy's so good! And again, he just turns branded in red into an interruption during your opponent's turn. You're either going to pop 2 cards and draw 1, or you're going to draw 2 and pop 1. And hopefully the card that you pop is going to be something like super, super important. So for some small super poly targets, we've got Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. I'm in a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. If you run super poly in your main deck or side deck, you need this card. Draco Seplia on top of that. Helps do other stuff. Mud Dragon, arguably best super poly target, and because we hate backer decks, especially Elvish, I would run more fusions in here if I had the room. If you want, I heard there was a version of the deck that topped that was running the Dogmaticas with the Shaddolls, but as you guys know who follow me on the channel, I like big, bad level 8 dragons, so I'm running Draglubian, 38, and Numeron. It's 97. You guys know me. I like this. I'm giving them a break in Blue Eyes because I'm going fusion based on that right now and trying them out here. They're good. Alright, into the side deck, we have 3 copies of Artifact Lancia, 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird, 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, because it's arguably one of the best spell cards in the game right now, and the Lightning Storms are in other decks. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, because we can have nice things. 2 Super Poly. I kind of want to bump this up to 3, but I can't really find the room. So 2 suffices, though. It should be okay at 2. 1 Red Reboot, and 2 D-Barrier, because D-Barrier is arguably one of the best trap cards in this format. So guys, that is it. That is the Tale of Masquerade, the sequel, featuring Guardian Chimera. Let me know if you guys would like to see, I don't know, if you guys want to see my take at the Dogmatica Shaddol version of the deck. Comment down below, let me know. Let us know what other deck profiles you want to see from Battle of Chaos. I have 2 other ones that I'm trying to get ready, but they're not quite ready yet. Even though we pulled all the cards, I just didn't have the energy from doing everything else, and my schedule's really busy, and I'm a night owl, so it doesn't help. But I've got a super special XYZ Dragon Cannon deck coming up because XYZ Combined came out, and there's also a certain Lady of Lament that gives Layer of Darkness a boost. So if you guys are excited to see that, comment down below, let me know, and we'll get those ready for you as soon as possible. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down below for notifications, and we will catch you guys next time.